Hey, hey, hey! Hi, everybody, and welcome to a very special um, episode of Live with Lydia doing the Small Business Showcase. It's pretty special because I've actually brought you into my bedroom. I decided to do the show from my bedroom today. As you all know, with the quarantine, I'm having to film from home and bringing on my guest via live. So, yeah, it's just one of those days where I'm like, we're gonna make it work, we're gonna make it happen, even if I'm sitting in bed. My boys are out there watching a movie. I didn't want to disrupt them in the living room. My doggies are outside enjoying some outdoor time, so I couldn't film in the patio. And I was like, you know what? Let me just lock myself in the room. Let's get this done and let's do this. So, for today, I am really excited because I have a very, very special guest. Her name is Alicia, and she is also known as the Lofty Mom or the Lofty Mom Art on Instagram. And it's absolutely an honor and a privilege to be able to bring her on. She is a very, very private person. She is a hustler and she is all about her family. So, of course, right now we will be taking away some of that time from her. And I'm really, really excited. I'm really, really honored for her to agree to this and to come on and pretty much like us all. I think being in front of the camera, it's a little bit intimidating, but she's putting that all aside for tonight. So join us, tag your friends, send this to your bestie, grab your drink of choice, and let's get started. All right, love, are you ready to join? Take a deep breath and cheers. Let's see. You
Yay!
Your background is so cute, by the way.
Oh, thank
I'm just sitting here
you.
with my headboard, like, you'll be my trusty buddy today.
So see, it was gonna be the other way, and then Mark was like, "No, you should do it that way." And then I was like, "Okay, I'll test it." And then I was like, "Okay, you're right."
You're
So it
like,
worked
damn
out.
it. It's really cute, and we get to see some of your goodies back there.
Yes, my little workspace of everything that I do. So
I love it. Oh
yes,
my, I'm
thank
so
you.
excited that you are on. I am
I
really,
know.
really pleasantly surprised that you agreed. Like I was telling everybody, Alicia is definitely a very private person. She's all about familia and she's all about her hustle. So the fact that you decided to come on, I'm really excited.
Yes, I'm excited too. I was like, I don't know. And then you were like, come on. I was like, you know what? She's right. I should do this because I don't ever do stuff like this. So I was like,
I know.
it's a good opportunity, especially right now with everything going on. So
Hmm.
thank you. So thank you
But
for
yay.
kind of pushing me.
I was gonna say sometimes a little push is good. I know sometimes it gets a little annoying, but a little push is good.
Yes, for
Yay, a
sure.
fan of girl over both of you. Oh, thank you, Carla Sue. That's so sweet. I'm like fanning over all of your amazing creations. But speaking of creations, do you recognize anything?
Yes.
I
That,
decided
and then I'm
to.
wearing mine too.
Oh, I can't wait to get mine. I got mine via shipment, so I think it's gonna take a little bit longer for me to get mine. But that is
Mm.
so cool. You already got to physically touch it.
Yes,
That's
yes.
so
So this
cool.
is another special project that I'm sure we'll talk about too.
Yeah, so before we start talking about this cutie, let me give you an opportunity to, of course, introduce yourself to my guest, maybe anybody that hasn't met you, but tell us a little bit about who you are, Alicia, what you do, and of course, a little bit about your company, The Lofty Mom Art.
Yes, so for anyone who doesn't know, I'm Alicia, and like Lydia says, I'm very private in the sense like I just really stick with my family. I really don't do a lot of pop before this. I really wasn't doing anything, and so it was just a matter of my family and what I can do from home, really kind of
Mhm.
keeping my girls, with whatever they were going through and everything like that. So, with that being said, I did a lot of art, which really is great because you can do that from home. It's just finding the clientele. So really for me, creating and designing was just easy firsthand stuff for me. And it turned into, oh my God, I love your art, but I want it as a logo. And I was like, what? Like, okay. And so it just really evolved from people loving my style to wanting to brand their own stuff, which is really exciting because then it takes on a whole new role of creating, but then having those people really love what you do, but it's for their brand. And so
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed seeing that process and really working with a lot of different people, not just here in Houston. I've done people in California, even in China, I had a client. So, I mean, the internet is just like great at its
That's a
best,
big
to
deal.
really just put myself out there. So yeah, so that's kind of what I do. Graphics, anything, from logos to personal designs to personal characters. I mean, it doesn't even have to be really for your business. It can be if you're a blogger. I've done a lot of bloggers for their, just a little icon design, Instagram highlights. So I mean, graphics can be for anything. So it really is just
Hmm.
a good market to just be creative.
Absolutely. So going back to this, she actually designed, I have a pillow in front of me, girl. I'm comfortable today. She designed the shop logo for when I was still doing Live with Lydia. She designed this little caricature, um, and it was inspired by my style, but it wasn't necessarily meant to look like me. And it just kind of happened. But yeah, she designed the logo for the shop. Whoa, okay, girl. So we're doing this handheld today. Um, and it was kind of cool because I was not looking to um I guess I wasn't looking to recreate the logo. I was just going by what my Live with Lydia logo was already, and she incorporated that, which is this part, into it. And then the shirt itself was actually printed out, and it was a gift from another friend of mine who is Danae, and she's with Red Line Print, and it's kind of cool. I feel like when you get to see your stuff out there, and then you get to put it on items or on logos or on whatever it may be, I think it's just so cool. I get excited to wear stuff that I know was created and made for me, especially when they're friends. How does that make you feel to like actually be able to physically hold something you created just from the
Yeah,
beauty of
I
your
mean,
brain?
just getting this shirt in, I was like, oh my gosh, like Mia Mark, I was like, Mark, it's my shirt. Like, it's just so crazy to see
Yeah.
it, come to fruition. And, it's really exciting. So I do love seeing. And then, when I see other people like start getting their logos like printed on merch, I'm like, oh my God, like, look how cool that is. It looks
Yeah.
so good. It's one thing to like, be working on it, but then to see it just come to life and really like evolve with that brand, it's amazing. So I
That's so
enjoy
cool.
it.
And you also helped me with my Instagram highlights, like you mentioned earlier.
Yeah,
That's something you do. Pretty much graphic art can take you anywhere, really.
anywhere. Yeah.
So the Instagram highlights that you see on my page, which is like the ones that says like I think like fashion, shops, favorites, all of that was created by her. And she also did the ones for the Salted Hippie.
Yes.
Um, that was so, so cool. Besides graphic art, besides, art itself, what are other services that you can provide for people?
I mean, it really comes down to what their need is. So if they're just looking for something fun, and again, it doesn't have to be strictly for business, it could be for personal use.
Mhm.
I've done with Fun to Go Mister. She has always used me for a lot of different things. So we created like little dinosaur stuff because her daughter is obsessed with dinosaurs. And
Yes.
so she printed it and she has it like hanging in their playroom, like just like art for stuff like that. So really it can go a long way. It doesn't have to be, for physical digital art only. It can be for yourself to print, hang at home, anything like that. Another thing that I started doing, which was my first like actual pop-up shop, was with Coach. And so that was
That
something
was
that what
amazing.
I was really excited about. And the newest thing
Hmm.
that I was doing there was doing the freehand painting on like shoes. So that kind of opened a whole new window of, hey, I could be doing this on not just shoes, but on any type of material, whether it's like a cute little handbag. Alicia was actually there, Stephanie was there, and they had gotten like little cute wallets, and I think Alicia got a bag. And it was just like being able to personalize it, not necessarily create like a whole masterpiece, but still, it's just like those little things to make it yours,
Mhm.
but still have something that I could work on is, basically anything is a canvas if you saw it
Yep.
that way. So, but yeah, I mean, really anything. And then even like stuff like this, like the shirt is through TNT Shirts. And so, like, they're doing a give back. And so, for me to be part of stuff like that is also something that means
Yeah.
a lot. So, it doesn't necessarily have to be like for anything in particular, like business wise. It could just be for so many other things.
And that does apply if you do for business, it does apply with logo creation as well. But tell us a little bit about your shirt and your project and why it's so important. I think this is one of the first t-shirts you've ever helped co-create. So tell us a little bit about that project.
Yes, so this is so I actually, because of the whole COVID-19 going on right now, it really kind of put a stop on how I work as an artist because really what I do, instead of going to a lot of networking events, it's all about reach out for me. So for
Hmm.
me, I'm constantly, that's my consistency is every day sending emails, every day messaging people, just kind of introducing myself, putting myself out there and so, because of everything going on, it kind of made me a little bit more sensitive to do that because obviously my clientele too is a lot of small businesses, business
Hmm.
owners. So, I didn't want to at this point like be pushy or reach out in a time where I know
Yeah.
everyone is being affected right now. So,
Hmm.
I reached out to TNT Shirts because I saw, they're printing stuff. Maybe there might be a small job I can do graphic wise with them if they needed it and Sarah, who is their partners, she runs everything with her family. She was like, you know what? Right now, we're just not looking for a designer, but this is what we're doing. So, what they are already doing is they're teaming up like with different local shops, bars, stores, whatever it is, businesses. Um, and they're creating shirts. And based off of those shirts, each sale, they get a cut of it to help print because they're screen printing everything there from their shop. And then also from to help that business that the logo or the design is made for. So it's kind of helping both sides, especially with everything going on right now. So she's like, well, if you know anything that we can do, just let me know. Like we can bounce ideas back and forth. So it really came back to, well, I know so many people, I know so many entrepreneurs right
Yeah.
now that have businesses that are being affected, but I can't expect to make a design for, all these people. So I was trying to think of the
Yeah.
bigger picture of, well, how can we give back in another way to where it'll just go locally to more people than just who. And so that's when everything was still coming up on the news and the Houston COVID-19 recovery fund was announced on
Oh,
the
okay.
news and I was just like that's it, like we need to do a shirt and the funds will just go directly to that because then we know they're going to be handled in a way where it's dispersed at its best, it's through charities, it's locally that's going to help us and it's
Yeah.
something that I can still do in a Houston way. So that's why I did the Space City Love, since we're Space City. So
Hmm.
that's why I did it with TNT shirts, and it was exciting because again we all get a cut of it, so it is helping them do their shirts to print them. It's majority is going to the. I got a small cut and she even asked, she's like, well, do you want a little? I was like, no, I would rather it go more because y'all are the ones doing the me doing a graphic is so easy, but I really want this to just be a bigger thing than kind of getting
Yeah.
money for myself, if that makes sense. So I just felt like
Hmm.
excited to be part of it and I really was like, let me just push it. I just like this is exciting. This is something that obviously is affecting just so many. So I was really excited about doing it and just seeing it come to life. And so she was excited too. And I think So far, we've actually raised $170 to the
That's
fund.
amazing.
So I was like, oh my God, like I couldn't do that on my own. So I was like, every dollar is really helping. Every shirt sale is like really
Absolutely.
helping. So if y'all go to TNT Shirts, you can get this shirt, which I'll stand up, but it's like Space City
Super cute.
Love, and it's in guy shirts as well, guy sizes. Also, you can check out the other shirts that they have. I also partnered with the Traveling Spirits. She is so awesome, Rachel, and we actually met at the coach event. So I was telling her about she actually got a shirt made to help her business because obviously they do a lot of events and weddings and all that stuff. So they kind of
Yeah.
got hit really hard too with not being able to do those events and
Yeah.
all that. So I was like, no, like you should do something. So I kind of, like how you were pushing me, like I kind of pushed her. And so she is kind of starting that. So I'm trying to help her to like get that. But on their website, you can see everything that they're doing that's helping, not just this fund the other businesses that are local here.
That is so cool. And I love how, even though, of course, um, everybody is struggling, I'm assuming, like you said, your reach out has been impacted because of COVID. Instead of just thinking of ways you can make money, I love how you used your artistry to stimulate a little bit for everybody else. Like you could have easily just been like, well, this is my fee or this is what I want to do. But no, you went above and beyond, and you're partnering up and you're collaborating with so many people. And it brings such a beautiful spirit of camaraderie. And I think it just goes to show why you're so blessed with this talent, because it is a big talent. And
Thank you.
it's just beautiful to see you thrive, my friend. It's beautiful to see you kind of step out of your comfort zone a little bit. It's really nice to see that you're still headstrong and you're still headed in a direction where your dreams and your blessings are prospering, but reaching so many people as well. It's
Yeah.
really nice to see that.
Yeah. And really for me, art is just such a like release. And so
Mm-hmm.
even with that, it just helps me stay creative. It keeps me, doing stuff to not where it's like, oh, and I feel like right now it is very scary. We don't really know
Yeah.
what's going on. And with everything going on, all the new mandates, and now people wanting to reopen so quickly, it's like, okay, like whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But it's kind of like just finding that peace and something to just art, just do art, just do art for a second.
Yeah.
And my girls, they're still little, they're 2 and 3, but they love to like, well, Emma, I should say, my 2-year-old is a little bit more, she doesn't want to do anything I want to do right now.
Oh.
So she always has to fight me, but she will get a color and color on things she's not supposed to, but she'll color.
Mm.
So, but yeah, I mean, they love the art and the painting and stickers and all that stuff. So I kind of get to enjoy that with them as well. And I know there's just so little still, but it's like, these are the moments right now that I can show them like we went through something and we went through it. Like this is what we were doing. We were creating still. Like I didn't give
Yeah.
up and it went to other stuff. So I'm really excited though to be part of, that with TNT Shirts and just to see that what they were doing. It wasn't about
Yeah.
them trying to make the money either. They were like trying to help other people. I was like, oh my God, we need to come up with something. Like, don't worry, I'm going to think about it. So it was just a great moment for us. And then, on the other hand, I've had people where they have extra time now and they're just home. And so I've had a lot of people, well, not a lot, but I've had a few people reach out like, hey, I want to start this now because I have the time. And,
Mm.
can we do these types of graphics? So it's kind of like I'm not asking because I don't want to like, intrude
Push.
or make
Yeah.
people feel a certain way, but it's happening when it's happening and it's helping like every small business owner can say like every dollar helps, right? So for us
Absolutely.
it helps with every little thing. And so I'm truly thankful for my returning clients, even you, like you have supported me from the very beginning. And, even with Mark, y'all got connected and that
Hmm.
really helped him kind of put himself out there. So it's really just about the community you build. So that's why when you asked, I was like, I have to do it. I can't say no.
You're like, damn it. I'm so excited you did, though. I really am. Like, humbled that you were like, I'm gonna do it because it's you. I was like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And more than anything, there's other businesses that I'll be showcasing that I have yet to meet, and it's kind of exciting how social media has kind of brought all of us together because of
Yeah.
course I had the honor of meeting you like in person and then working with you and then working with your husband and being able to have him on my show and now you. But there are people that are coming together even though they've never crossed paths before. Like a few of the upcoming guests I've never met in my life, but people commented and recommended for them to be on the show, and that unity I think is what's going to push us through.
Yeah.
um Another thing that I want to brag on about you is your PDF book. I thought that was so creative,
Yeah.
and it was definitely, of course, it provided a little revenue for you, but you still did it in a way where I feel like everybody could afford to download it from you. I loved it. My son loved it. I purchased several so that I could email to my goddaughter and my godson and my niece. And I'm like, this is just cool because it's a way of feeling connected through the social media, through the digital world. Can you tell everybody a little bit about your PDF book?
Yeah, so I was, again, trying to think of without having to reach out to people per se. And it just dawned on me, hello, I can be making little coloring sheets. And,
Mm-hmm.
so I've used art that I already had, just kind of recreated it. And I made this book. And so it's just different iconic pieces that I did from like when I first started. And I
Mm-hmm.
just kind of threw it all together and was like, okay, I'm just gonna put it out there and see what happens. And I did get a good response. Like you really loved it. I had a few other people really love it. And so for Easter, I was like, I'm gonna do a free one for Easter.
Yes.
So I was like, that'll just be something else to keep it kind of relevant and show how easy it is to just, hey, send me an email, download it and print it, done. And so I was like, I'll
Yes.
just do it again. And so I'm still thinking about how can I keep it going and finding new, I guess, designs to do.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing right now, the other coloring book I have out there is through Pediatric Sepsis Week, and I posted about that as well. So that was something obviously very close to us.
Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know, our son, we had twins, and one of our babies ended up passing away at 16 days old. So he passed away from sepsis. So after all of that happened, of course, being me, I was like, I need to advocate in some way or learn more about what's going on. And I kind of found the Sepsis Alliance group, and they're actually in California. So we connected, and we created Bug, which is a little ladybug character. And through
So
her,
cute.
she is what teaches the kids about sepsis. And so we had created some coloring sheets like a year ago or maybe two. And so through all of that, we, kind of created her. And then it really grew this year. We ended up, they got an animation of her. And so she's like a little video. And that was
That's
really cool to
so
see. I was like,
cool.
oh my God, y'all made her talk. Like, how did y'all do that? And
She's
so that was
alive.
really cool to see. And the voice is actually the little girl from America's Got Talent, Angelica Hale. So she was part of that. She voiced it. The person who did the animation, they told me she was part of like the Geico commercials who did the little
So
gecko. So they
cool.
kind of donated their time to do that for them because obviously it's a nonprofit. And so, we all came together for that. So it was really cool to see that come to life. And we added more coloring sheets to it this year. So that you can download for free as well. And it kind of just goes through the story of Bug and, how to keep your hands clean and with everything. It even talks about social distancing. And so it was just something different. And I'm like, oh my God, like this is just, why haven't I thought of this, to do it more in just different ways. So yeah, so that's kind of that too. Like it's just, I don't know why I didn't think of doing it when I was already doing it for other stuff. So
I know you're a faithful woman. We've shared like prayer and, just positive vibes privately.
yeah,
So I honestly think that God is putting you in the place and time that you need to be because, again, your talent and your artistry is reaching and touching on another level. It's not just like, oh, I know how to draw pretty pictures. Like, you reach people and you help people and you promote yourself in such a humbling way that it's
Mm.
you have no other choice but to want to work with you and to want to support you and to want to help you because you have such a pure soul. You have such beautiful intentions that you're never thinking about just your business. The majority of the connections you've made, it's because you're wanting to reach out, wanting to help, you're wanting to collaborate, you're wanting to help others. And that makes you so special. And I, honest to God, believe that all these blessings that are coming and the ones that are still to come, it's because He has placed you where you need to be of service. And then you're blessed and granted so much
I
knowledge
appreciate that so much.
and just you're so talented. You really, really are. And you're so young. Like, I wish, you know what I mean? I wish I had my shit together a whole
Oh
lot
my God.
younger than
Oh, you should have seen me earlier.
it doesn't matter because in the place that you're in now, you have it. And you're an amazing mom, and that's your number one
Oh,
priority always, and it shows. But you still make time and effort to help, to collaborate, to work, to be a service, to donate, and I think that's just absolutely beautiful. And let me tell you, I was, able to personally hear your story with baby Mark and his legacy that you're, creating with all of this. Um, Thanks to the information that you gave me booklets and you gave me information on
hmm.
sepsis the first time we met in person.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law actually ended up getting it a couple months ago,
Oh,
and
wow.
they couldn't quite figure out what was wrong, and I immediately knew what it was because of you. I never reached out
Wow.
and I never told you anything because I was just like, well, honestly speaking, I'm like, she lost her son. I don't think, not that you wouldn't care, but I'm like, this is not a big deal because thank God, my mother-in-law is still here. I mean, she's older and it was definitely scary, but because I knew the information and because of all the pamphlets you gave me, I was like, oh my gosh, check this, and it was that, and she was able to get help, and I just
Wow.
wanted to say personally and in front of everybody, thank you because as as shy and as private as you are, you truly touch people. And we listen. When you speak, it's powerful. So thank you for that because she's doing
Well,
okay.
I appreciate that.
You're so
My heart's all
welcome.
like, oh my gosh. But thank you. I
Yes,
appreciate
but
that. Oh, look at everybody.
my
Thank you, Monica. Yes.
yes, they are giving you a lot of love. Hello, Cafe Guadalupe. She's another person that's going to be on the show soon, and I'm really excited to meet you. Um, hey guys, thank you for joining us. Thank you for all the love. Keep the love going to Miss Alicia. Hello, Elizabeth. Preach it, says Ana
Melissa.
Torres. Hi,
That's my
hey, Karen.
Thea.
That's your Tia? Oh, that's so sweet. That's
Yes.
awesome. Praise God for that. Such sweet words. Oh, I mean them. I really do. It's definitely an honor when you get to work with someone and meet someone that you know and you immediately can feel that their heart is in the right place. And that is definitely you. But let's move on before we start crying. We're like,
Let's
girl,
have a
it took
drink.
me it took me 30 minutes to do this face and I'm already sweating it off because I don't want to cry. Okay. But as far as what's keeping you motivated, what's keeping you going, for those of us that are small business owners, entrepreneurs, what do you think is the best piece of advice we can give them to stay strong, to stay motivated, like finding different alternatives and different ways to kind of collaborate and create? What do you think would be the best thing or the best advice you can give them?
I mean, really taking this time of utilizing social media, really figuring it out because now you don't have all these extra distractions. I mean, other than looking
Mhm.
at, nonsense on social media, like really try to figure out, I guess, the best ways to put stuff out there. I mean, it's like that old cold call, right? You would just cold call people and try and get your business, or that's how collectors would call for promoting whatever random stuff. Like that's literally
Mhm.
what I took in a sense of I'm just going to reach out. Like, there's no harm in reaching out to other people, whether it's just for advice, whether it's just for, hey, I saw, you got your shirts made. Where did you get it done? Like, just connecting with other people and asking questions and just putting yourself out there, I feel like is my top like to do, because that's the only
Mm-hmm.
way you're going to one learn to connect. And if you don't get a response, trust me, I've gotten so many no's. I've gotten so many no responses. I've gotten so many like ghosted people just like never contact me again. And it just like, okay, like move on. You learn from it. It really builds that like, what's the word? Like callus, like when you have a callus,
Yeah.
it's like building that type of wall where it's not going to phase you. It's like, okay, next. Like, don't take it to heart. Don't get, upset over it. Just learn from it and keep going. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I would say is really putting yourself out there, because you just don't know what someone's going to offer, or the advice they may have. And especially with everybody going through everything right now, I feel like people just want to help. They want to connect, they want to talk, they want to see
Mm-hmm.
what's going on. And if they feel like they are going to help somebody else with information, like why not? So I would
Mm-hmm.
definitely just utilize the time of reaching out to people, even if it's like somebody who has like a billion followers that you don't think is going to like
Yeah.
respond to you. You just don't know right now. Like, everybody is home. Somebody's going to read your message. So I would just definitely reach out to people and just put yourself out there. That's the best advice that I can give, because that's something I honestly do all the time with other artists, especially if I see that they're creating in the same program I'm using. Like, how did you create that different technique? And some will respond and say, oh, I use this or whatever. Some will tell me little tips, and it's just to learn from each other. So it's really
Mm-hmm.
great to learn. And then you meet new creative people, and then it's like, great, like I can
Yep.
talk to them and they can ask me questions. So it's really just about connecting, I think.
Absolutely. I love it because I'm a big, I'm a big believer and advocate in community over competition. And the one thing that Jesse from Ivory Boutique, when I interviewed them, which is so crazy, I interviewed them as boutique owners, and now she's a colleague of mine. Something she said, it's not just about community over competition. It's about seeing your competition as colleagues, because if you're thriving, that gives them a chance to thrive. And if they're thriving, that means business is going to be good for everybody. And that's something that I feel like there's enough to go around for everybody. And when you connect and collaborate, and you start to see people as connectors versus your competition, that's when you begin to thrive. And that's again another beautiful quality of you, because you are a connector. You've recommended so many people um, to me, and you've recommended people for me to connect with, and it's beautiful. I love that because I am a natural connector. I love networking. So to meet someone like-minded like that, and that truly is like, you don't see competition, you just see collaborations, you see community, and you see colleagues, and that's a beautiful trait of yours.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think that's something that a lot of people should see the opportunity in.
Hmm.
Because even like I know with Mark, like his work is so different, and I feel like a lot of people, it doesn't have to necessarily be like, a famous person that you're reaching out to. But I even tell him like, hey, you should just ask, like just say like where or what are they using, or and he has. I mean, he's gotten some feedback from other people. I've even had friends that they're starting up, and I'm like, just ask somebody. Like literally, how I kind of started evolving was with a friend who introduced me to her friend. And then me and the first friend, we don't even talk anymore, just, because life happens. But me and the second friend, we still
Hmm.
talk, and I still support her, and we still see each other. And we never had like that friendship bond. It was truly over like her wanting to help start my business and kind of give me those little tips here and there on like how to do things, and how to go get my, DBA, and, just stuff like that that I just
Yeah.
didn't know. And so you just don't know who you're going to talk to, and it could be just great advice that they give you.
You don't know who's going to be placed in your in your life or in your path, and you don't know how you might be able to not only learn from them, but in one way or another, support them or have them support you. And I think we should be much more aware of that, because especially right now, it's so important that we stay connected and that we stay humble enough to be open minded and open to new ideas and new ways, because we're all dealing with it. We're all having to learn the new norm and learn to kind of get by with what we're given. And right now we're giving a lot of time, and we're giving a lot of digital technology. And I think definitely um, just kind of focusing on that. I think you're right. It's great advice. Keep your mind focused and keep going. I don't think we should. This is not the time to fall down and stay there, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a
Definitely
lot of
just
people
look at
agreeing.
what you have in front of you and just do something with it, you know? That's why,
Yeah.
like, even me, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna freehand art now. So I was just trying to do little doodles, and like, even that, I'm like, okay, I'll just sell them for like $3. Like, if anybody wanted it, they could use that as a card and just like write on the back and mail it off. Like, it's just little things to just keep yourself with
Occupied.
projects, with an end goal, with something. So,
You should do
yeah.
postcards.
Well, so the prints that I have, they're like the postcard size. So it's that
Perfect.
postcard paper too. So I mean, I'm like, I guess people could use that too as
As
like,
postcards.
hey,
Yeah.
just fill it out and send it off to people right now. And that's another thing I want to start doing. I mean, there's so many things I want to do right now that I'm like, oh, like to make art, because I was doing art like for the NICU and stuff
Mhm.
like that. So now I'm like, well, now the nurses and the doctors need art. They need encouraging stuff. And so that was
Yeah, for
something I
sure.
definitely was thinking about as well. But it's always about having the means to do it and, the
Yeah.
time. And so it's stuff, but it's just so much that we can do right now that
Hmm.
with the time. And I know a lot of husbands are home. Mine is home, so that's where right now he gets to help me with the girls, so I can do
Yeah.
stuff like that. So, or like this, I should say. But
Thank
yeah,
you,
so
Mark.
yes.
So speaking of being home and your husband being home, knowing you have two really small babies, um, what is keeping you sane right now? And what do you think is the most challenging of having to be pretty much cooped up at home?
I mean, honestly, it's kind of bad. I'm a little more used to it than he is. Like he had his full time, he's constantly in and out. Really, the only in and out I would do is taking Emma to her school, then picking her up, going to HEB. Like HEB was like my getaway. Now I'm like, I haven't been to HEB in
Oh,
so long because Mark's like, I'm gonna go. Like, let me
hmm.
go. So it's just different. I feel like, and not only that, but when everything happened with the babies, we completely stayed in for 2 years. We stayed in
Oh,
because we
wow.
didn't want to get Selena sick because she was a preemie. And there was just, after the risk of losing one, we did not want
Yeah,
any risk. And so we didn't see family for holidays. We didn't do birthdays. Like we just didn't do anything because there's so many kids in our family that we didn't
yeah,
want to risk if, because kids don't know until they're sick until you see the symptoms. So I was
yeah.
like, if they got Emma sick, it was going to get her, the baby sick. And so we really just took it serious. And so, this was the year, or last year was our first year doing everything. Holidays for the first time with our
Oh my
family,
gosh.
birthday parties. Like we did everything the first time last year with the girls, and they
That's
loved
so
it. And that's
cool.
when Emma started her school, and like everything was just going. And now this year it's like blur, and I was like, oh man, like we just got into a routine. But
You're like, I've been
really,
training for this though.
yeah. So now I'm like, okay. And then we moved like during all of this. So now it's kind of like a new place that we're I mean, we love our new place. We love our new spot. And it's just the girls, thank God they're little. They really don't know what's going on. And,
Yeah,
really Emma's just like school, like time for school. I think she's like, wait, why are you still here? Why haven't you taken me anywhere? So
yeah,
other than that, I feel like they're just so, they're kids. Anything, I mean, anything will get them laughing. I just have to make a funny face and they're copying me and we're just cracking up the whole time. So, really, it's just keeping them busy. But as far as me and Mark, like I think
Making the
it's just
best of it.
yeah, and it's just, staying home together. And I tell him all the time, like, can you believe you're still home with me? Because he's not leaving. I'm like, you're still here. So he's like, okay. So I
I
think
was
it's
telling,
more of that,
yeah,
not anything else.
I was telling my husband the same thing. I'm like, what's gonna happen when everything reopens? I'm gonna look over in the bed and you're not gonna be there. He's like, real life. I'm like, yeah, I don't think I want to go back to real life. It's
I
been
told
so
Mark
nice
too.
having him.
Yeah, I was like, when you have to go back to work, I'm gonna tell them no. Nope. He has to he if he can work from home now, he can work from home then. Like you don't need to go back. So
Like that meme where it's like now we're really finding out when those conference calls or those meetings could have been done just with an email. It is
mhm.
so true. It is so
Mhm.
true. But what is the best way for someone that wants to work with you, collaborate with you, hire you for your digital art design? What's the best way for them to get to you or get a hold of you?
I mean, really, Instagram, Facebook, they just send me a message. I'm really quick to respond. I'll be literally doing dishes and messaging, like dishes and messaging. And Mark's like, just wait. I'm like, no, like I can just do it. Like it's a message. So I'm constantly like I will respond. Obviously, if I cannot, I won't. But that's really the best way is just to shoot me a message. Even if you comment on any of my pictures, I'll respond. But that's really the best way. And then from there, I'll give my phone number or email or kind of learn what the best way is for you, for that person
Yeah,
to communicate. And sometimes it's email, sometimes it's text, sometimes it's just messenger. So it really, everything is just over the phone, how it's always been. But yeah, that's the best way for them to just message me directly.
that's awesome. So your social media handles are the Lofty Mom Art for both Facebook and Instagram?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
It
awesome.
might just
Eh,
be the Lofty Mom on Facebook, but the Lofty Mom art, and then I have the Lofty Mom, which right now I do have a giveaway for all the moms or parents with Newbie. I get some stuff from Newbie, so they were like, "Hey, can you do a giveaway?" I was like, "Yes!" So that's happening today. Oh my God, I was like about to get on live, and I was like, "Oh my God, I was supposed to post this," and so I was like trying to post it. But yeah, so that's happening. So that'll
Very
be a
cool.
fun little giveaway for somebody right now at home just to do stuff with their kids with.
Is that only on Instagram or is it on your Facebook as well?
It's just on Instagram. So you just have
Okay.
to follow Newbie and my personal page, my blogging page, just under the Lofty Mom, and it gives all the details. And I actually shared it on my story here on the Lofty Mom art. But yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So, is there a website that you have that people can maybe check out your stuff?
I don't have a website anymore. I had it and then I just never really used it because everything I do is just through messaging and email
Social
of me
media?
just reaching out. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna take it off. And I actually today just posted, and again, I don't know why I'm waiting so long to do these things, a highlight for myself for a shop. And so I was like, I'll just do this and I'll post, some of my posts in that. So I'm highlighting little things that I'm gonna that I have here that you can buy or whatever. So prints and those little art things I was doing by freehand. Those are like
Those
three
are really
dollars.
cool. I got one
So,
from you. I think mine was a little bit larger. The one that you sent me.
mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
love it. I'm torn if I want to keep it in my office here at home or if I want to take it at work because, well, right now we're not, open, but when I'm at the store so much more now than in my home office. So I was like, I think I
Yeah.
want to take it there. I'm like, no, but I want to keep it home. So I'll let you know where it decides to live. Right now it's in my office. I'll let you know where it
Thank you,
decides to live.
Stephanie.
Yeah,
You're awesome too.
she is. Blogger by the Bay says you're a great communicator.
Yes,
You are. You
Desiree.
respond really, really fast for sure. What do you think would be your dream, either your dream collab or your dream creation? Like as far as working with someone or working for someone.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
The
I guess
the coach thing was pretty cool.
the
That
coach
was
thing was
really,
really,
really
I
cool.
mean, I guess that would be really for any, like storefront, even if it's here locally, to just have me hired on as like their in-store artist, right? So that
Mhm.
would be ultimate like job of, hey, these clients bought these shoes, just come pick them up, and then I just do everything here at home and then just go drop them back off for their client. But getting kind of that consistent revenue of just having the store hire me, that would be something great and
Yeah.
awesome. So that's why it was really fun to do it. And when they asked me, I was like, oh my God, like, yes, I'll do it. And so I had never painted on shoes. And I was telling Mark, I don't know, I feel like I should just go buy the paint because they asked me, well, do you do that? And I was just going to be freehanding art there for
Mhm.
their clients and kind of incorporating like if they bought a bag like into the drawing and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
they asked, and when they asked, I was like, I think I need to just go for it. I'm just gonna go for it. I went, I looked it up. I literally bought everything the day before. That night I was like practicing stuff, and that was it. And then it was like day of, I was just like, okay, I got to do it. Like, and then they
Yeah.
were like, oh, I want this. I want the mouth that you have like on my sticker design. And I was like, oh my God, okay. And I was like, I got this. And it was just like coming out like magic. And I don't even know, like, if you mess up, I don't even know how you're supposed to clean it off and restart. I didn't mess up once on everything that I was doing that night. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know how. And I still don't even know, like, if I mess up, how I'm supposed to clean it off. Like, I just don't even put that out there to myself. I'm like, oh my God. But that was really fun. And so now I'm like, oh, now I have the paint. Like, that's why I told Mark, like, make something so I can paint on it. Because now I want to paint on all his stuff. And he's like, no, don't paint on this.
You gave me such a good idea when you said about personalizing. I'm a huge like handbag collector. I'm like, why have I not hired you to paint on all over my crap?
I
That
will
would
do
be
it. I will do
so
it.
cool. That would be so cool.
See,
Have
and
you
in high
ever?
school, I used to
Mhm.
do graffiti art.
I was about to ask you that.
And I'm like, oh my God. Like, they used to, I forgot, I think it was in middle school. They were like, oh, your nickname's going to be Tag. And I was like, okay, weirdo. So I was like the little quiet, shy, nerdy girl. And like, people would just come, like, can you tag my name on this? Can you tag this? And I was like, okay. So,
I haven't heard that term in so long.
right,
Can you
tag.
tag my name? Now it's like, can you hashtag me, please? Tag me in your post. No, but I was
Yeah.
gonna ask you, have you ever done like graffiti or more like urban art? And would you ever be up to doing maybe like a wall, like a mural?
So the one mural that I was ever considering, the Ivy, for her restaurant, actually, I was like, you know what? What if we did like a cool mural? Because she's an entrepreneur and she has a restaurant, and so that was one thing that I still would consider for her. Because I'm like, she wouldn't hate me if I messed up. So, but that is something. Because even where we moved, like it's like right next to like the entrance of the gate to our little community, and our fence is like right here. And I was like, you know what? I wonder if I went out there and like painted or just did some like chalk art on the fence just to like encourage the people coming in and out right now.
Oh, that
But
would
I
be
was like,
cool.
I don't know. So it's like little things, but I just never done it on such a massive scale. Everything is just on my little paper that I
Yeah.
can do it. But yeah, so I have thought of it. I think it's just the matter of having the time, the supplies, and all that stuff. So,
Hmm.
but it is something
Hmm.
I think I would definitely consider and try doing for sure.
Food for thought. There is a white wall
Hmm.
where I have the store. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. I'll be calling you. Okay, girl. So I know you have your babies, and I know Mark is over there taking care of them. I really appreciate your time and the effort that it took for you to actually come on and show your beautiful face and let us all
Oh,
enjoy your presence. I really, really thank you. So, just to reiterate, if they want to get a hold of you, anything you want to tell our guests before we say goodbye as well, how to reach you, how to work with you, and any last minute comments you have.
really? Well, thank you again
You're
for
so welcome.
pushing me, having me on here. It was all worth it. So I'm glad. I was like sending her one of those little gifts, and I was like, like that's how I felt before coming on. So but it's all good. So, anyways, but yeah, if anybody needs anything, they can just message me, whether it's Facebook or here on Instagram. Instagram is always the quickest. I'm always seeing it and I'm on it. And then now you can see this my little shop highlight now,
Yes.
and people can kind of just see what is on there, what I have to sell. And then obviously, please check out TNT Shirts. This, is helping us locally. It helps me out. It helps them out. And then also, just see what else they have on their shop. I think they also have masks now that's about to go into mandate. Everybody needs a
Yeah.
mask now. So that's something also to look at. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I guess the other thing for all my clients who do need graphics, I always offer unlimited revisions. So that's
Okay.
something, if you don't know, that basically we just keep editing until you're 100% happy. So I know
Yeah.
that's not something really done by a lot of graphic designers because they're very strict and cutthroat. And to me, that just really confines the process and it's just not creative enough. So I feel like I need the space and I want to give that person ideas. If it gives us more ideas, it just helps us bounce it off of each other. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, that is always included, whether it's even highlights, like anything small to big, everything just goes into that of you being 100% happy. So, but yeah, that's really it.
Very cool. Cafe Guadalupe said she's a client and she loves all your work. I second
Yes,
that.
Monica.
Absolutely, absolutely agree. But thank you again so much for coming on. Give your family, your girls a big hug and a thank you again to Mark for allowing this time for you to step away a little bit from the girls. I really appreciate for real, for real. I really appreciate you coming on. I know it's not easy. I've shared this with you before. Being in front of the camera is a struggle even for me. But you did amazing, and I am so happy that you allowed me to show you off to my tribe. I wish you nothing but the best, continued blessings, and you guys, please follow her. Please check her out. Even if it's not something you need right now, just reach out to her, like her pictures, comment anything as far
Mm,
as a small business is concerned. Right now social media is so important to us. A simple like, a comment, a share, a
yeah.
referral means so much to us because even if it's not economically bringing in finances, it brings us a little bit of attention, and right now we're all in it, so let's be in it together.
Yes.
Thank you again, Alicia. Cheers to an amazing life.
Cheers.
You did so good. I'm so proud of you. Oh, they're asking if
Thank
you have gift
you.
cards.
Thank you.
Do you have gift cards, love?
No, I
Okay.
do
So,
not have any gift cards. Kind of just what you want. I mean, I guess even if you like paid for something, you're not automatic. Like I have a client that paid me before all of this happened and we were just about to start, but because when she was adjusting to everything, it's on pause right now and it's not like, oh, that's it. So really anytime stuff like that happens, it's just kind of like we'll work it out.
mhm.
I'm always open to, as long as we're communicating, it's fine. But no, I don't have gift cards. It'll just be like a credit if you paid up front.
Yeah, you can set it up through Square. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's awesome. But thank you again. Have a good night. And I really appreciate it. We'll see you next time.
All right. Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.